What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I am your host, Tonage Scorp, here with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
I'm like 97% sure I've got like a 30-second stream delay on still.
That's
So,
fantastic.
oh yeah. I'm going to try to fix that real quick. But welcome back to the 78th episode of the Climb Together podcast. Hold on just 1 second while I fix this. There we go. Restarted stream. We're good now. Okay, cool. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. This is May 8th. Officially, we do have a couple awesome things to talk about today. So Deception, since this is something that has been your little, you know, your thing, I'll let you start out with the good news. Deception.
Well, guess what?
Chick butt. You can't get me. Ooh.
That was more for the chat than anybody else. But finally, XDefiant has a release date.
Yeah. And what date is that?
May 21st.
Mm-hmm. So you people
Honestly, that was earlier than I expected.
Yeah. I mean, true. So
I was hoping for it to be that early.
Yeah, but we were kind of like anticipating like June.
I was anticipating if they announced it this month, it was gonna be like June.
Yeah, but they said we're gonna roll this out, and I'm happy about it. Trust me. So yeah, so May 21st. That is a Tuesday. That is less than 2 weeks away. 13 days to be exact, from like an hour from now. And it's been a long awaited thing for us. Deception and I've been talking about this since we could. Deception's been playing the game since he could, in the closed alpha. And then talking about it after that. So I mean,
it was nearly 3 years ago.
I know. Was it really 3 years ago?
Yeah. It
Really?
was August of 2021.
Wow. Damn. You've been playing this game for as long as Rich and I have been together.
True.
But damn. All right. Well then, it's finally coming to fruition. We've got a lot of cool things planned with it. Deception and I actually, gonna leak real quick. Deception and I are actually chatting tonight about what we're gonna do when the game comes out and stuff like that with Scorpion Syndicate. So good things are coming your way, guys. Good things are coming your way. So
I'm very excited.
I am too, man.
I want to play it real bad.
Oh yeah.
I'm so interested because like we have a release date, but they haven't said anything about like how the progression's gonna work, like what if there's like camos and stuff in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't even said like if we're gonna have like pre-orderable editions with like extra perks and stuff in it. So I don't know.
I don't know either.
We'll see. There were leaks that there were like a founders edition and stuff that gave extra content like skins and some stuff, and there were even leaks that there might be early access. I don't know if any of that stuff is true, obviously, but I guess we'll find out. We got 2 weeks.
Yep. And it's gonna be an amazing 2 weeks too. We're gonna start, seeing a lot more teams get announced in the competitive scene. I've already been seeing it, and it looks like, from what I've gathered, from different things I'm a part of, that it's going to be, most of the teams are gonna be based off of which faction you play. Is what I'm seeing, because it looks like most of the rules are for 4v4, one faction per team, and for 5v5, 2 factions per team, no more than 2 of the same faction per team. So it looks like a lot of people are announcing based off of factions, not like AR sub. So it's gonna be interesting. I feel like a lot of the different, I've been seeing a couple things. A lot of the different guns go better with different factions and abilities, from what I've gathered.
Yeah, I saw a lot of stuff like in the past. Ace has talked about how he doesn't want any GAs,
Mm-hmm.
because he said he believed like some guns would work really well with a faction. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've heard him say stuff like he would like to see stuff like the M60 get used,
I
which
mean,
would be
I don't really feel like there needs to be any like GAs though, because it's a really balanced game. You know, like the guns are really balanced. There are obviously guns that are better than other ones, and that'll just, but there's a lot of it that's up to like personal preference and personal playstyle.
well, and you also got to think about the balancing too, because like there admittedly has not been a whole lot of balancing done,
Yeah,
because they've been focusing on the
getting
quality of the game
yeah.
and like figuring that out. Um, so I'm sure that there will be balancing changes before season one, and probably before like leagues and stuff start. Um, that will
Yeah.
get people ready. Um, Another thing to note is that they have already. It was posted on their website that from the launch of the game, there's going to be a ranked mode practice playlist,
Mm-hmm.
which
which
is going to be
is
really cool.
which is great because if we're comparing it to Call of Duty, waits like 5 months before they put out any sort of ranked thing on any of their games, and there's a type rank thing coming out day one, which I think is really cool. Even if it's not like the full ranked in its full form, it's still something.
Yeah, it's not the full ranked, but it's like it lets us like figure out what the heck is going on, and like honestly, it'll help them push the full ranked out faster because
Mm-hmm.
we'll be able to play it, figure out how it works, and like get a rule set down.
Yeah. So I think that's a good move by them. Um, and they're more active on Twitter. Like they're posting pretty frequently. Like for the past few days, they've been posting, different of the different factions and what they have available, and like little video things, which is pretty cool. Today, they're starting the All Star Series. Um, at I think one right after the podcast is over.
Yeah, the
Um,
first match is going to be a playlist on YouTube at 1 p.m.
yeah, so it's gonna be Aches versus Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's the rematch from when they had the showcase, um,
Yeah, let me
which was
pull
a
this up.
really cool.
Let me pull this up real quick. Oh, oops. Yeah. So that's gonna be today. I don't see anything as far as like announcing for it live.
They just announced it on Twitter.
Well, yeah, but like it's like on the YouTube page, but so that'll be interesting. That's today, right after the podcast. If you guys need something to do, there's that to watch. And it looks like they're doing 16 different people, and they'll be dropping each matchup. I think
The
probably
finals is going to happen when the game launches.
yeah. So that's cool. I like that a lot.
I also love that trophy. That's a
Mm-hmm.
really nice trophy for just a random event.
Yeah, I like it kind of reminds me of like the Boston Breach like masks a little bit,
Yeah.
but I think it's really cool. So it's kind of like shaped like a W too. The W, boom, 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 boom. I see the little things. I see the little things. But yeah, like right now, if we search like XDefiant in the feed, just like the latest, like it's popping recently. I don't know what that it was. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Oh, look at it. Cloud Together Podcast is in there. The latest. So many people are tweeting about XDefiant. So I'll go to the top. Maybe that. This is Deception right now.
Me.
Looks like we've got like a special look at like the rank icons too. Maybe you can go over that for a second. Let me just make this like this. All right. So this is like, so it looks like there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different like ranked groups, and then multiple different workups within. It's gonna be a pretty extensive ranked progression system.
That's actually how it works. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, there's badges too. So I'm guessing bronze, silver, gold from here up, and then these two are like the best of the best. And I like how like the last one, like the 10 is the XDefiant logo, which I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Everybody's like posting like, you know, roster announcements. It's the hype is back. Everyone said that the hype wasn't gonna be there, but the hype is back.
Oh, you want to know one thing that's crazy?
What?
Zero, who used to be a COD pro,
Yeah, I remember
and
him.
played for a hot minute, has announced that he's going to compete next.
Oh, let's go.
Which is going to be crazy. And apparently Pristini is coming with him, so.
It's been since July 19th. Was the
July
reveal.
19th is when it got revealed, and the alpha started like August 5th, I think.
Yeah. So this is it's all over. I love it. People are posting like it's the hype is back. Everyone's like the hype's gonna be gone for the game by the time it launches, but I mean obviously you can see it's not gone. It's still there. You know?
I'm very excited.
Me too.
I don't care if anybody else was excited for the game. I'm excited.
Everyone's so excited. 17. Everyone's counting down. Like, come on. Everyone's just like holding myself over until then. Like, come on. Like,
I just thought about it yesterday. I was just like, I was literally just sitting here and I was like, this time in 2 weeks I'm gonna be playing XDefiant.
Oh yeah.
And
it's gonna be great.
I'll be playing it permanently. Like I won't have to like stop because the playtest is over.
You just grind it every day. Every day. I'm really excited though because you know, we've been all kind of just waiting for it to come out and now it's time, and now we can play it, and now we can grind it, and now we don't and it's one of those things where you don't have to like take a break.
I'm not gonna take a break.
You aren't allowed to take a break, Deception.
The only time I'll be taking off is for the podcast.
Yeah, probably, and to sleep, if that.
I don't know. I've strongly been contemplating a 24-hour stream.
You should do it. I would do this 24-hour stream the first day, but I have a Hosier concert that night that I've had tickets to since Christmas, so I'm not.
That's crazy.
I'm not rescheduling that.
That should have been like a premonition for you. You should have been like, "What if XDefiant comes out today?"
I know. I would have. That would have been kind of funny. I was hoping it would have been out already by then, but looks like it is going to be out already by then. Just only 6 hours beforehand.
That would have been crazy though. What if you just randomly called that?
Yeah, literally.
What if you'd have been like, I have a concert on May 21st. I think that's when XDefiant comes out. That would have been nuts. That would have been better than any of the other times I've called anything out.
Listen, man.
If you would have said it since like Christmas.
Yo, this is my honestly my best call. Here, I'll pull it up. This is my best call. Right here. I'm gonna pull it up. Just give me 1 second. Hold on, please. I'm scrolling. Alright. This right here is my call. right here. This is the best call of my life. This tweet. I tweeted this right before class on the one of XDefiant Twitter, right? At 12:50 p.m. May 2nd. All right? And then okay, just take a note of that. Right? And then on May 2nd at 1:02 p.m. they announced it.
That is probably the best one you've ever come out with.
Yeah, that was someone replied, "Did you just predict the drop?" And then Harriet replied, "No, we summoned it because I did. When we want XDefiant, when do we want it now? Pretty please." And they said, "We got you, Tone."
You know what it was? Mark follows that account. He probably saw it and he was like, you know what? I should just drop it.
Oh my god, yeah, he does. If you guys see here, followers, Mark Rubin.
Yeah, he probably saw that and he was like, you know what? I'll do it.
Yeah, fuck it. Fuck it, we ball. But yeah, guys, so just so you know, Deception's not the only one making good predictions out here, alright? I also can predict things here and there. But oh shit. That in and of itself, like, the epitome of my career.
Yeah.
Like, that was the peak for me. That was my peak.
It's all downhill from here.
Yep. Which is not a good thing, mainly because I have, like, a business, and, like, I'm not even out of college yet. Like,
you peaked already.
I'm 20 years old and I've peaked. Like, come on. I mean, it's not as bad as the people that peak in, like, high school, but it's not great. Anyway, very excited for this to come out. A lot of people are. It's got 2.6 million views, the trailer does. And it's got like 21,000 likes. Like people are excited.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody says the game is dead on arrival and they're not gonna play it, and then look at the Twitter views.
Mm-hmm. It is definitely not gonna be. It's gonna be hype, and it's gonna do well. I'm manifesting it right now, so you know. Anyway, now what you guys have all really came here for. The Kendrick versus Drake beef that has been going on. It is insane. It is getting insane. Like, the accusations being... I'll let you take the lead on this one, Deception, because you're the rapper here.
I'm the resident rapper.
Yeah.
So basically, the absolute start of all of it was when Drake released For All the Dogs. And he released that last year. Mm-hmm. There was a song on it that was featuring J. Cole, and it was called First Person Shooter. And they like,
here, let me pull up.
They didn't call out Kendrick in a bad way. It's just they said that they were two of the big three in rap is basically what they said. They said that they were two of the big three is all they said. And I guess Kendrick took that as a little bit of a slight in a way, because Future and Metro Boomin put out a project earlier this year called We Don't Trust You. And Kendrick featured on a song called Like That. And he specifically called out, I mean, you could already tell where it was going from the start of his verse. But in the middle of the verse, he straight up called out First Person Shooter.
Here, let me try to find the lyrics. Hold on. Keep talking. I'm trying.
Oh, I see it.
You see it? Why can't I? Is it towards the...
There it is. I see it. It's like in the middle.
Jesus. Oh.
Yeah, you covered like the whole verse right there.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it.
Yeah, he specifically called out first person shooter, and then
It's right here, guys. I don't know if you can see
then
it.
he basically was like, he was talking about the big three, and he said it's just big me, which was like, oh, that's that's quite a
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah. And then, bam! I'm not going to say
So
the other word because I'm not allowed to, and I don't want to, but you guys can read.
But he said like Kendrick said all that, and everybody kind of thought that something would happen because he called him out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he called him out pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like I really liked that verse. I thought it was great. I was kind of hoping
Speak
something would
me.
come out of it, but I did not expect what happened. And what ended up happening first, the first thing that happened out of all of it was J. Cole released a surprise project out of nowhere, called "Might Delete Later," and it's not on. Well, I mean, we'll get to this in a minute. You won't see it, but at the end of the album, there was a track called "7 Minute Drill" where he called out Kendrick.
It is. It still shows on Spotify. It's just like you can't play it.
Yeah, he deleted it.
Yeah.
He did delete later. So he put that out, and whether 7 minute drills on it or not, this album is fantastic. By the way, if anybody likes, if anybody is a big fan of hip hop, you should listen to it. But he had 7 minute drill on there, where he called out Kendrick. He called out specifically like things like Kendrick only had like 4 albums in 12 years, and stuff like that. Basically, like calling out how Kendrick like never releases, so it's like it's weird that Kendrick's calling other people out.
Mm-hmm.
And he said a bunch of other things too, but
And then he said, "Actually, I don't want the smoke."
I partially think that J. Cole saw something coming that has ended up coming to fruition because
Mm-hmm.
a week or so later, he was doing a show, and he basically talked about how he resents that he put that track out because he likes Kendrick. They're legit friends, and he wouldn't actually want to beef with Kendrick. So it's like he ended up like he didn't say at the show that he would delete the track, but he ended up deleting it.
I mean, because who wants
And
beef with like one of the best rappers that has ever lived?
I mean, really, like J. Cole and Drake are two of the only rappers that I think could beef with Kendrick. I think it would have been cool for Kendrick and Cole to go at it if it was more friendly, but as we're about to find out, it's gotten it's gotten a little hairy.
They're pulling out some.
But,
They're pulling out some stops. They're pulling out the stuff that went deep.
it's gone a little bit further than just friendly competition at this rate.
Yeah.
But they basically Drake about 2 weeks later came out with push-ups, which was the response to um basically the response to Kendrick's verse on Like That. And I actually thought it was really good. I thought it's some of the best stuff that Drake has put out, rap wise. I thought it was fantastic. He called out a whole lot of stuff. And then a little bit later, Kendrick comes out with Euphoria, which was insane. I honestly think Euphoria is the best track out of all of them. Euphoria there was so much on Euphoria that like it would probably take half an hour to dissect everything that was in Euphoria and everything that he came back with. And not only that, Drake didn't respond for a few days, so Kendrick, like, well, actually, first before Euphoria, Drake put out the Taylor made freestyle, but a lot of people were discounting that one because he used AI. Um, he had he had verses from Tupac and Snoop Dogg, but they were AI. It was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like what he was actually saying was good, but it was just a lot of people are just like the AI part's a little weird. But Kendrick puts out Euphoria and talks about basically replies to everything that Drake said in both tracks. Um, and
Pathetic master
like
manipulator.
yeah, like he was pulling out like he pulled out stuff like if they're my only two real friends and I'm YNW Melly, which was that was insane. Um, and then he basically said um one of the interesting things that was said that I thought it was an interesting play. Um, he talked a lot about how supposedly Drake isn't black enough, and he kept saying like, "We don't want to hear you say the N word anymore," which is very interesting. Um, that was an interesting play. Uh,
Wasn't it like very like at the very end of the song? Oh yeah.
yeah, but he said it before.
Well, here's
Like when
the
he was saying, "I don't like the way you walk. I don't like the way you talk." At the end of it, he said, "I don't like the way you say that word."
yeah, and then at the end he says it like twice at the end.
Yeah,
We don't want to hear
it
you
was just
say
like,
no more.
and even then, like right before that, like the end of it was really sick because uh, he was like, I can take it further, but that's something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And then
Also,
Drake took it further.
we're saying this is two white people, so we're not like this is them battling it out. We personally cannot define who is quote unquote black enough because we are not even close. Deception
I mean,
literally is like a
admittedly, I would say that Kendrick is a better judge than Drake.
I mean, yeah, but okay. I think I found the
I mean, Drake was born in Canada, dude. Like,
listen, man. Like I said, not my place. I am the whitest of white, all right? I am European white. All right? So, like not even like, you know, southern European, northern European white. All right? Like
I do. Okay, the one of the cool parts of it is like because Drake used obviously Tupac as AI, um, in tailor made freestyle. I thought it was funny, but it was also kind of like ironic considering Kendrick is literally from Compton. Like he is a West Coast rapper. At one point in this song, he was talking about how he's not gonna let some Canadian dude let Tupac turn in his grave, which was cool. That was a good one.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, he puts this stuff out, and then Drake didn't fire back for a little bit, so Kendrick decided to throw out 616 in L.A. Which that title in itself is insane.
I don't
There was like a whole Twitter thing talking about just the title of the song.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like the amount of like layer like I saw a TikTok that was just like breaking down just the title
it's
alone.
literally like it's at least a quadruple entendre and maybe a quintuple
Yeah.
entendre.
Yeah.
But yeah, he put that out, um, and went a drink even harder.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm pretty sure this is the track where he was talking supposedly that Drake had a daughter along with his son.
Yeah.
And
No,
he
I
was
think
and he was talking about like well, how he was talking about how OVO is working for me. Like he was talking about how like Kendrick said that there's apparently rats in OVO that are like against Drake and like plotting on his downfall actively.
can't Tootsie slide up out of this one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I
There was
like
a
that.
lot of. I mean, Kendrick was constantly going at the dude. And then, um, and then after these two, Drake put out "Family Matters,"
Genius
which
got me with the recommended on this one. They're like, you want to hear the next? You want to go through the next one? I got you.
yeah, Drake came out with "Family Matters" after that, and literally like Yeah, and it's true. They probably already had this stuff like ready, but like Drake put out Family Matters, and like less than an hour later, Kendrick put out Meet the Grahams.
Yeah. So anyway,
Um,
so the thing that I wanted, like, I think the thing that I've seen pointed out a lot on like TikTok is this first first verse right here,
oh yeah,
and he says the N word, um, s- specifically because Kendrick said he doesn't want to hear him say it anymore. But I don't know. Um, Meet the Grams, I think cracked. What's the line in Meet the Grams that cracked me up? I heard it and I literally could not stop laughing. But keep
oh
talking about the beef.
one of the things about one of the things I will say about Euphoria, and it's because I saw the I do like this. I love the way that Drake did this. Anyway, but one of the things, because I saw it said in the beginning, he said "Dear Adonis," is like one of the things Kendrick said that I thought was really cool. Was Kendrick mentioned Pusha T, who previously went at Drake for the whole long lost son thing, um, and made probably before these the he probably made the best diss track against Drake. Um, Kendrick mentioned Pusha T, and he basically was like, "You're better off like going against him again than going against me," which was cool.
Where is the line? Is it in this one? I love how this is the one like Meet Grams where he talks to his son and then talks to Drake's
Mm-hmm.
daughter that's long lost.
Yeah.
And then Drake just kind of rebuttals that and be like, "Nuh-uh. I fed you all that information."
Okay, so this is one of the weird things. Before we get to further tracks in this thing, even though there's only two, one of the weird things about this whole thing is replied, um, when Drake replied, with this, he he said that that he planted somebody to tell Kendrick about the fake daughter. The weird thing about the fake daughter situation is the fact that in the video, Drake even went to the New Ho King restaurant that Kendrick talked about in Euphoria. He had he had the van from Good Kid, Mad City, and he crushed it. Like he did all this like crazy stuff that tied in with the video
Mm-hmm.
and made it look really good. But he never made anything pertaining to the fake daughter. Like
Mm-mm.
he talked about it, but he never had he didn't make like a picture. He didn't have like fake documents. He didn't make any sort of propaganda about the fake daughter. He didn't make anything about that. But he wanted to focus on the fake daughter though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Kendrick put out "Not Like Us," which this song is insane.
Yeah,
Like,
he calls him pretty much pedo. And then this is the line. This is the line that got me.
oh
Trying to
yeah,
strike a chord, it's probably A minor.
yep,
That so good.
that
That just
one was crazy.
like
This song is nuts because there's literally like I saw a video, and I know this has happened to other places too, but I saw a video after this song came out where Rick Ross was at this like outdoor club with like it had to be a couple hundred people, and they were just like they were dancing to this song, like twerking to this song. Like it's crazy. This is a diss track, and people were getting down with it. It was great. This song is if you talk about just like the sound of a song, and like if we were looking at like which song sounds the best, this is it. The song is great. Um, but after this song, um, Drake put out "The Heart Part 6," which is basically like obviously Kendrick has already had. The Heart Part 1 through 5. So Drake was like, let me add to that one for you. And I actually thought the Heart Part 6 was really good. Um, but I don't know, the way that Drake was on sounded on it, he sounded like low key defeated. Um, in a lot of parts of it. And one of the interesting things, because we were talking about like on Not Like Us, like Kendrick was mentioning that Drake is a pedophile and he's done stuff with like underage women, and there's a little bit of proof of it, and there's a lot of speculation around it, considering he has had many times where he's had close proximity to underage girls, like whether he's just talking to them or whatever. Like there's a video of him kissing a 17-year-old on stage, stuff like that. But one of the really weird parts about this song that it I think it might make people look a little bit more into it when when Drake was probably like not thinking that would happen, is Kendrick never mentioned a specific name of anybody when
Mm-mm.
he was calling out Drake as a pedophile. But we all know that like a few years ago, he was talking to at the time, a 15 or 16-year-old Millie Bobby Brown. And he specifically mentioned Millie Bobby Brown in this song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why?
It like
Like,
trended on
why
Twitter.
did you have to say that? Like, you did not have to say that. Now it's like you just messed up.
Ugh. But this was like, I've seen a lot of like posts and stuff like that on like TikTok and Twitter of people just being like Kendrick attacking Drake and then Drake being like, "Nuh-uh."
Yeah, that's basically what, ever since push ups, that's basically been what the whole beef is. Is just Kendrick is just like, it's like a boxing match where Kendrick is just repeatedly punching Drake. And
Mm-hmm.
Drake is like, he'll get one in every so often. But the rest of the time he's just got his hands up trying to defend himself. It's basically the last like 5 diss tracks have just been Kendrick just like smoking this guy, and Drake is just sitting there just like trying to defend himself.
Yeah.
like
So and
like
then
Drake brought up a lot of good stuff on push-ups, but like Kendrick replied to like all of it in Euphoria and
mm,
616 in LA. And ever since then, it's like Drake is just, every diss track he's just trying to be like, no, this is not true, and like he's replying to Kendrick, but he's not bringing out anything new. And Kendrick just keeps like, even though Kendrick kind of ate the whole daughter thing, like Kendrick just keeps firing at him. So it's like, what does it matter?
yeah, and then Macklemore throws his hat in the ring with Heinz Hall, right?
I did not know about this.
Oh, okay. So this is something. So, if you guys don't know Macklemore, he's been kind of like a political rapper recently. I mean, he was on FDT a few years ago, part two. And so he put out this like Heinz Hall, which is a free Palestine song, pretty much talking about everything that's going on overseas right now and how like this is a little bit more important. And then he says, uh, I'm trying to find the spot. He throws a diss at Drake. Throws a diss at everyone, really, being like, "Y'all waiting for the next Drake song," when like the shit's going on. So he's like dismissing this like dismissing everything that's like going on with them and being like, "Yo, there's a little bit more important things going on here," and being like, "Yo, like," and the thing is, he doesn't mention Kendrick, so I don't think he wants that kind of beef with the Kendrick.
He probably just like, it probably was just like putting it in the songs that was
Yeah,
relevant at
yeah.
that point. Um, I don't know.
Well,
I think like from the from the perspective of like hip hop as a sport, the diss tracks are great. Like I'm
mm,
loving it
oh yeah,
personally.
it's like bringing the
But
scene back a little bit.
it's gone a little too far though,
Yeah.
because yesterday, a week or so ago, there was a um nobody was killed, but a security guard was hurt. There was a shooting at the Weeknd's house.
Mm-hmm.
And now a lot of people are thinking that might have been related to the beef, because somebody also shot at Drake's house
Yeah.
yesterday. So
And with
uh,
this like hip hop era, it's very
there were supposed to be, apparently Kendrick and Drake were both supposed to drop stuff yesterday, but because of that whole thing that happened,
Yeah.
they postponed it. But there were rumors and stuff, and they've been debunked since like they came out. But there were rumors that like some of the big wig executives and stuff were trying to stop it. Um, I was hoping that wouldn't happen, and that got debunked. Apparently, that never took place. Um, but like, it is very interesting. Like, the thing about this beef is like, for hip hop, it's great. Like, whether that's being said in it is true or not, it's great. Um, it's been really fun to listen to. But the big thing is like, if some of it is true, like especially Drake, like, it's not looking good.
Yeah, Drake's is uh, it's not. I
The
don't
whole
know, man.
Kendrick beating his wife thing, there's not a lot of evidence against it. I think that's one of the big talking points of these tracks is like neither person has a lot of evidence against anything.
Right now
But
it's just
like,
accusations.
yeah, but the thing is like Drake Drake is like Drake's accusations are a little more accurate than Kendrick's because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Like the only remnants of like Kendrick abusing anybody or beating anybody up is he beat some random girl up in LA or
Mhm.
Vegas, but like I'm pretty sure she was like harassing him and stuff. It was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like it happened and like he might have got some backlash for it, but it like went away pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anything crazy.
And the thing is, like, when you defend yourself that heavy, though, that, like, usually is, like, an indication to people that you're guilty. Like,
Yeah, that's the weird part, and that's why I think people find it so weird, and I'm surprised it hasn't been making the rounds more than it has. I mean, it has, but I figured it'd be bigger. Is the whole thing about Drake talking about Millie Bobby Brown because Kendrick never talked about a specific person,
nope.
and Drake just threw Millie Bobby Brown's hat in the ring when he knows that that was already like a big topic of conversation when it initially happened.
Yeah.
So it's
That kind of, like, goes for, like, every kind of, like, defense, too. Like, if you defend yourself very heavily, over an accusation, it makes you seem more guilty because you're putting more effort into it than what it is. You know, it'd be like, I didn't do that. And then be
yeah,
like,
and it's like
but
I
he,
mean,
like,
obviously we don't know what Kendrick is gonna say.
no.
Yeah. But I would be surprised if Kendrick makes more than like 4 bars about him supposedly beating his wife.
Yeah.
Like because that's basically how it's gone is like Kendrick defended himself a little bit in Euphoria, but it was way more shooting at Drake than
Defending
like
himself.
defending himself.
But, like, Drake's last one was just being like, yeah, like, I'm cool. And this is all false. And don't talk about my son. And I fed you all that information. Like, that's literally all it was. It was like, I told you, you're the reason why you know this is because I wanted you to know this, and none of it actually happened. And don't talk about my son. And he didn't even say son; he said seed, which I feel like is kind of like ew. Like seed.
No, that was weird, yeah.
I don't like that.
But
That's gross. That's kind of gross. Like your son is a whole ass person. You can call him your son. It's not like it was like for the
yeah, but that's the thing is like that's been the whole thing about Drake's son since it came out. It's like he has this son that he just does not associate with at all, and it's like, bruh, it's like you're not making this any better for yourself.
no, like you're just
Like Kendrick literally, like Drake referred to his son as his seed, and Kendrick literally had a whole like 6 or 8 bars about the fact that like um he even on Euphoria, Kendrick was like, why would I try to dig up stuff about you? Like I have a son to raise. I got more important stuff today.
yeah. Like goddamn. The man's really was just like my seed. Okay, could you say anything more toxic masculine than like
The Millie Bobby Brown stuff is the
Yeah.
funniest part because it's literally just like it's like you being investigated for a murder, and instead of you just not saying a word about names or specifics, you're just in the middle of your defense and you just randomly say the exact name of the person you murdered, and it's like, wait.
Or like someone else you murdered. Like, I didn't murder them, but I murdered them. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like double jeopardy at that point. But anyway, so I mean it's gonna continue here over the next few days. I mean, obviously it's taking a little break because of everything that's going on, and they want to kind of like be respectful because at the end of the day, like we're all still human.
I do think it's cool they're being respectful. Like they're granted, there's a lot of this is getting kind of insane, but like at the same time they fully understand that I don't think they want it to get as bad as triggering shootings and stuff.
Mm,
So we'll see what happens.
yeah. And then there's one more thing that I want to talk about today on the podcast. Is the Esports World Cup. So this is something that I've kind of known about for a while. It's literally like all different games of all different organizations. There's about 30 organizations participating. They announced this the other day. So you got Cloud9, Blacklist International, FaZe Clan, Fnatic, Furia, G2, Gladiators, Carmine, Corp, Genji, Gold, KDI, OG, Energy, Weirbo Gaming, T1, Talon, Twisted Minds, Natus, Secret, Vitality, TSM, LGD Gaming, Loud, Team Liquid, Tundra, Team Falcons, Vitress, Space Station, 100 Thieves, then Ninjas in Pajamas, and these are all like top teams in the entire world. They're all competing for this crown.
It's really cool how many different esports are represented too. Like FaZe has teams in countless esports. So does like Cloud9 and like all these other kind of teams, but it's a really cool like the range of like representation too, because like there are some teams like Falcons doesn't have a CDL team, but they have a team in Challengers.
Yeah, so the Esports World Cup,
which is cool,
is going from July 3rd to August 25th, so all summer long pretty much. And
that's basically the Olympics.
Yeah, literally. This is the Olympics of gaming. So they're gonna have Counter-Strike.
It's literally taking place at the same time.
Yeah. So they're gonna have Counter-Strike, then they're gonna have
It's okay if they do this in 4 more years. We'll have XDefiant.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're doing the FC 2024.
This is FIFA really Cup. Cool.
They're doing Dota 2, looks like.
This is basically just like a bigger version.
There we go.
Of that Ludwig's World's Greatest Gamer tournament.
Yeah.
This is that, but on a mass scale.
So I found the schedule here. So week 1 it'll be League of Legends, Mobile Legends. There's a TBA spot in Dota 2. Week 2 is Dota 2, Mobile Legends, and Free Fire. Week 3 is Dota 2, CS2, PUBG Mobile. Week 4 is Overwatch, and then Mobile Legends, then PUBG Mobile, and then week 5 is Rainbow Six, Honor of the Kings, Apex. Week 7 is Street Fighter, Fortnite, Teamfight Tactics. Week 7 is FC 24. There's a TBA spot in StarCraft 2. Then week 8 is Rocket League, Tekken 8, PUBG Battlegrounds, and Rensport.
Dude, they're actually doing Rensport. That's gonna be interesting.
So they're gonna have like a pack. This is gonna be a pack summer full of gaming, and I'm really excited. It's featuring Rocket League and Fortnite are featuring. So I don't think they're like technically something. I don't know, but this is gonna be like they're having Tekken. Like this is like all different types of like different games here. So I'm really excited. I mean, you've got like Dota, League, Apex, you've got battle royales in here, like 3 different battle royales. You've got Rocket League, you've got Rainbow Six as an FPS, Counter-Strike FPS, like all
You
different
know
types
what's
of games.
really interesting? I mean,
What?
obviously there are 2 TBA spots, but no COD.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, they have to get like special licensing and stuff like that from the CDL, and CDL's so like
It's so
fucky.
weird though because they have Overwatch.
Yeah, but Overwatch is kind of going through a whole like re
Overwatch is
rebirth.
doing what the CDL will probably be doing in a couple
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah. They're going through a little bit of a reconstruction period. So yeah, interesting stuff going on. And then I believe there's like qualifiers for it too. So there's not only just the teams that are invited, but there's also qualifying teams as well. So it's gonna be a lot of esports and all summer long. So
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
we will definitely be covering it in the Scorpion Syndicate Discord, along with all the majors for like the individual games themselves. We're trying to get our watch party game going here. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting couple months, couple weeks of things. So yeah, anything else you want to talk about, Deception?
I want XDefiant.
Don't we all? But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast. This has been episode number 78. We will be live again. So actually next week we're not going to be able to do a podcast, unfortunately. I have 2 finals on Wednesday, and then Rissa and I are moving back home. So next week we'll be taking a week off because of that, but then we will do a podcast the day after the release of XDefiant, so we can do a full deep dive into that for you guys. But moving out of college is a little bit more important because we have to be out by Thursday evening, and we've been living here for since September or August, like since late August, early September. So we have a lot of things that we need to go through and pack up and whatnot. So no podcast next week, but thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. We appreciate you guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Comment down below what your favorite thing we talk about today is. Who you think? Actually, you know what? Comment down below who you think is winning this beef right now, Kendrick or Drake. We'll see. I personally think actually, Deception. I know who I think is winning right now. Who do you think is winning right now?
Kendrick.
Same. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in this episode. Deception, say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. Peace.